Hey there. Okay, here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele Underground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
Mr. Kahai, the legend, Ferguson. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
Gentlemen, it is podcast time. So, Kahai.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
I guess first and foremost, we should explain why this is a pre-recorded podcast, right?
I was just gonna go through it like as if it wasn't like I wanted to see if people. No. I was gonna reveal that at the end. I wanted to see if people. No. All good. We can just
see you in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim. Yeah, Jim. How's it going? Rob.
No. I got it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
All right. Hey, how's it going? This is Aaron. It's Kahai. What do you want to talk about?
Since this is a totally normal podcast.
Hey, how's it? Hey, I see Jim in the chat. What's up, Jim? How's it going?
Hey. Devin too. Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Devin. Hey, Devin. Cool. Yeah. Happy whatever day to you also.
Yeah. So I thought we could talk about. I thought we could share our favorite things that is on Ukulele Underground, and it can be anything. It can be songs, can be lessons, can be just videos, or I guess not even videos. It could be anything.
Yeah, anything. Man, you gotta put that song through the years. No. Right?
Yeah.
Who does that song? It's not Kenny Loggins. Who does that? Now I'm blanking out. Anyway, yeah, through the years. Let's take a look back at Ukulele Underground as a whole. So what is that? 2024? That would make Ukulele Underground how many years old? Kahai, what's your guess? How many years old do you think Ukulele Underground is at this point?
I think but it's a little bit different because it's you can start from the first lesson.
Yeah, from the first lesson, which was 2008? Was it 2008? Yeah, 2008 was the first lesson. Or was it 2007? No, 8. We moved back in 2007 here in Hawaii. Back Hawaii.
So that's what I was also talking about. Yeah. Is it the first I Am Hawaii lesson, or is it the first...
Ukulele Underground. Let's talk Ukulele Underground. Okay. Yeah.
And that's Love Song, right? I think.
Yes, episode 1, Love Song.
Yeah. So, yeah, is that 2009?
2008. So 2008 is the very first lesson that goes up. So that was January 2008, and we're May 2024 now. So it's been how many years, guys? Let's do the math here.
I started work in 2011, and that's 13 years. And then, so add another 3, and that's 16
years. So in our 16-year run doing this ukulele online learning shebang, what are the top 3 things? Dude, 16 years. And you're asking me to name 3 things. I can name you 30 things, 300 things even. I think it's been, quite amazing, all the, our run at Ukulele Underground so far. I just want to make sure that people know that so far it's been super fun. So we'll talk about 3 things each, I guess.
Fun after
this. We'll talk about 3 things each, and I don't know if we think of some more, we'll just talk about some good times. Yeah, is that cool?
You know what they say? It's it's Sweet 16, and then it's all downhill from there.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with.
Wait, how are we gonna do this? Round robin?
Is it one at a time?
Yeah, and I think also say what it is and then explain why.
Okay. First one, always, whenever I get asked this question, what is the most favorite thing you've ever done? Still, hands down, to this day, True by Spandau Ballet. The lesson for True, Spandau Ballet, my favorite lesson song play along like just ever. It's been so long since then, and I mean we've done great songs since then, but as far as the fun, the quirky, the true essence and feel of Ukulele Underground, it just doesn't get any better than that, I feel like. So true Spandau Ballet, if you guys have time, check it out. Learn that song. It's a classic. It's a classic, 80s classic. In that song, like it started off as a kind of a joke between myself and Russ Bus, and whenever like Russ would have like a live stream, or whenever he would do a video, back then they used to do videos for his channel and the UCB channel. And he's like, oh, what should I do? I'm like, True by Spandau Ballet. It's always like this joke that we did. And back in the day, like, I mean, I guess still now, like I always kind of wait until last minute to do these lessons. And I had to come up with one for that next month. And I think we had like a couple weeks before then. And just came up with Spandau Ballet is True, because that's been in my mind, like just joking around with Russ. And it was all good. Like the song itself came out fine, you know? And then I think I sent it over to Aaron, who added like drums. He added drums and stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any way of playing drums back then, you know?
Just fake drums.
Yeah, some fake drums. He added some cool stuff in there. And I thought that was all good. And then I went over to Aaron's house. So Aaron's like, oh, we're going to film because usually we go out to film the play along. And then Aaron's like, no, come to my parents' house. And you had just moved back, right? So that room was like...
Yeah, so I guess my dad, we had a downstairs patio, and my dad was remodeling that downstairs patio. So it was still like... There was no flooring. It was just cement flooring.
yeah.
And
perfect soundstage.
yeah. So I could pretty much do whatever I wanted there because it wasn't finished. We couldn't really mess up anything.
No, and dude, that was so awesome. And then like I walked in there, I'm like, what is happening in this room? He had like all this stuff set up. You had the curtain on the wall, and you had the water and stuff. I'm like, and then the lights. I was like, what is happening? Like, what are we gonna do? He's like, oh, and you also told me like to bring a suit and bring a silver tie or something. Like bring a suit and tie or something. And I'm like, all right. So I came to your house in suit and tie. and he goes like, oh, do you have like drums? I'm like, I have like rock band drums. He's like, yeah, that's perfect. Bring the rock band drums and bring bring a suit. I came in with a suit and rock band drums. I'm like, what are we about to do like in this room? So we filmed it, and you had all these amazing, cool, like practical effects, I guess you would call it, right? Because it wasn't like
zero budget.
Yeah, zero budget, practical effects. Yeah. And this was before, before like One Piece had practical effects, right? Kahai would build set pieces for those. So this is exactly which is like One Piece, like with like times zero budget. So it was really cool because like we managed to kind of recreate a nice parody of the Spandau Ballet music video.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was classic. You did the whole thing, you did the split like of the different parts. You had the shadows all good. The shadows look great, like the way that you reflected the light onto the water into the curtain or like whatever green screen thing that you had back. Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those classic '80s music videos.
Yeah.
And so it was like, just the lead singer of Spandau Ballet with a microphone, and then it's like kind of misty or like, and there's like I was watching it and I was like, how are they doing that effect? And then I've tried to like create my own way of recreating that effect. So I had a mirror, like a regular Walmart wall mirror, and so I taped it so that it could hold water on it. And I poured water onto the mirror. It was on the ground, and then I shined light onto the mirror in a way where the angle would hit you. And then I had a fan that was blowing the water so that the water would,
the light would flicker, I guess.
Create that ripple effect. the reflection of the light would create the ripple effect on you and on the background.
Dude, that was so awesome. Like, loved it. And it was like, like it was early YouTube days. So like, no, like nowadays, like you see all the fancy schmancy YouTube videos with the cuts and the edits and stuff. And back then we had none of that stuff. And everything was basically a practical effect,
Yeah.
And even, to kind of peek the curtain back a little bit, you guys still kind of edit this way, like there's easier ways to edit now, but you guys choose to still edit the videos like frame by frame, like adding the like the chords and the animation, and so you guys still animate it frame by frame, which is insane. So like Ukulele Underground, and it's what, 16 years, kind of pretty much stayed the same, right?
Yeah.
At least the vibe too, like it kind of stayed the same.
In fact, the intro to this podcast, Kahai edited frame by frame, even though he could probably outsource that to AI at this point. But like,
I was just gonna say, I tried to do something with AI to do like a green screen for our UU Plus Solos preview that we did recently. And I ended up just being like, I'm just gonna go in frame by frame and cut this thing out. I just gotta do it myself.
Yeah, it was fun times. Really, it was we were like pioneers on like the ukulele, like online kind of presentation. Not just learning. I mean, people have taught stuff online, but I think just the presentation. Of course, like our format like has always been like tried and true, and people have kind of has taken our format and how we teach and kind of put their own spin on it. But man, back in the day, like there was nobody that we could kind of like, hey, maybe we should do it like that or whatever. Like we just kind of pioneered all this presentation of ukulele lessons, and like some of the stuff we were just having fun with it. At least like I had a blast like doing all that stuff, and I don't know, like I would always try to like just try to act my best, like put on my best acting chops, for all the even though how embarrassed I am, like even if it was just me and you in that room, it was still kind of a little bit embarrassing to be in a suit, like next to like water with the fan and the and the mirror. But yeah, hands down, my favorite lesson / play along / video on Ukulele Underground. And it kind of holds up because if you know the background about it, how we're just kind of we just did it like a lot of DIY stuff. Like it's not meant to look super polished and super like, man, they must have spent like $1 million doing this. Like, no, it was clearly a parody and it was amazing.
Because even if I remember correctly, isn't the dots on the fretboard like kind of that bluish like tint or something?
Or it's like a fluorescent.
Yeah. So you changed it to match that aesthetic even too, right?
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, watch it. All right, you.
Me? I don't know. I guess it's sort of in that same vein. You Belong to Me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going, because that
was one of yours.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Okay. But it's okay. I can do another one then.
Yeah, definitely that creating that video, because it was sort of the same, right? Where that song came from the movie The Jerk.
Yeah.
Steve Martin, and so I was watching the video for that.
Yeah.
And I figured like I think we might be able to recreate this.
Oh, that was.
And so,
dude, my wife was so nervous and she was so anxious.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll chime in with my stuff.
Yeah.
So that day, like going to that thing, because you're like, okay, cool, we're gonna meet up like at this time at this location. We want to get that kind of golden hour almost. Like it was like right at nighttime because we can only film for so long before it got too dark, right? You set up lights and whatever, and there's like the little campfire.
We had a generator. I had to like get my dad's generator and set it up at the beach. Like that's actually at a beach.
Yeah.
And
it was Kelia or next to Kelia Beach?
No, right down the hill
Yeah.
in Kapa'a.
Man, and like, so I don't think about things because it's just like, okay, we'll just come. I mean, Aaron will, like, if I need to wear something specific, Aaron will tell me to wear something specific. So Aaron's just like, oh, just come to this, whatever. And so then when, you know, like Heather, my wife, she's just like, so like, what do I wear? Do I have to sing? I'm like, no, we already recorded it. You don't even have to sing. Just lip sync. You'll be just fine. You know, like we already recorded things.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do I wear? I was like, I don't know, just whatever. I guess just wear something comfortable. She's like, no, like what do I wear? And she's just full on freaking out, like having like a full panic attack, like at home, because like I don't know, she's not a video person.
Yeah,
she's usually behind the camera.
Yeah, she's never like in front of the camera.
So she was so nervous, like just having like a panic attack in my house, and it took a lot to just like to get her out of the house. I'm like, we gotta do this. The guys are waiting. They've already set up. We gotta go. And she's like full on in tears, like didn't want to leave the house. I was like, dude, we cannot. Like, I don't want to be like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, Heather can't do it. Like, you can't just diva out on me like last minute. And you know, like we just gotta go and do it. And she did a great job.
Yeah, she did a great job. She did like pretty much you guys did everything we asked you to, right? Like just walk down the beach, sit down, and then you guys were singing together and stuff. So
yeah, because I was like, I wanted to do that song, and I'm like, you know, my wife can do this. She can sing, you know, like she's not like, you know, like a pro singer or whatever, but I'd like to feature my wife on that. That'd be pretty awesome. It's the one of two, right, that she was featured in. One, she didn't sing. She was just playing Yoko Ono.
yeah.
You know, this one, like she actually performed and she sang, and she did a good job. I thought it was good. All she had to do was lip sync it.
Yeah.
And even then, because I told her like, okay, you're gonna lip sync it, but like actually sing when we film, like just actually sing. But they won't hear like what you're singing, but it'll look natural if you actually sing it. And she's like, but what if like, no, don't worry, just like, or just say the words, like, you know, as long as like you're using your vocal cords and you're not just, it looks unnatural that way, you know. So
if you watch that video, you'll notice that Heather is like really nervous.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah.
I think I guess if you pay attention to it, but most people were just like, "Oh, the jerk, awesome!"
Like, most people didn't even.
That's actually what I told them. I'm like, people are gonna be like looking at the chords and the words most of the time. Like, no one's really gonna be paying attention. Like, oh my god, did you see what she did? You know?
I think people were excited that we like recreated that scene from the jerk. And I saw the one thing I saw was like, why didn't Heather take out a trumpet and start playing? Right?
Yeah.
Just to get her to come was already like pulling teeth.
Yeah. So we did have a fire.
That was like a bonfire.
Actual fire set up, but it went out midway through, and so some of that flickering effect was Kahai, right? Weren't you? Yeah. So we had one of our LED lights running with a filter, like an orange filter in front of it, and it was just like Kahai flickering the light because there's like a dimmer on it, so he's just flickering the light.
Practical effects.
Yeah. But I think too, like you told me, we're gonna try and build a fire, and we went down there and we tried, and it's like, okay, we kind of got it. And I remember for one shot, I still was like flickering the light, but you were like holding the camera right behind the flame, so you could just see like a little bit of the flame glow coming in through. And so both of us are like lying on the ground, looking up at Aldrine and Heather.
Aaron, you do a lot of like the cameraman yoga, like at a lot of the shoots that we do, right? Just like at the angles that you want, you know.
There's no steady cam. I'm just like holding it really steady.
Cameraman yoga, you did great. You did great.
Yeah, and then I think in post, I think I did add a little bit of digital flame to certain shots just to sell it, and and definitely like the sound effects
of the waves, right? Like,
waves and the fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one probably came together one of the best. Like it took a lot, but then it felt like the payoff was.
Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah. I thought the final product like really delivered on what it was supposed to be.
That was I knew Heather was like super nervous because after we talked about it, you guys were like, oh yeah, she was like super nervous and stuff, right? And we were just like, you did a great job.
Yeah, we didn't even notice because we were stressed out about
oh my gosh, we gotta things. And I think we were like, okay, we gotta film this quick because we don't know if the fire's gonna die first or the generator's gonna die first, right? So it's like we gotta go. But then that was one of the things too. I wanted to pick that, but I was thinking like, was this only fun for me? Because all I did was like flicker the light, and was everybody else being like, "Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed."
Yeah.
I had fun, like I was not worried at all. Like I had to just play like a pretty simple song, like walk, sit with my wife, and that was it. That was like all my job, and just bring my wife to set. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Because I think even we got there earlier, and it's like we cleared out that little area. And it's like, let's drag a log to the spot for them to sit on. Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome. Yeah. Okay, Kahai, your turn.
So since that was like the one that I wanted to pick, I'll pick another one in that same vein. I'm glad like we all kind of have the behind the scenes enjoying the process idea, right? Another one was that Phil Collins song, Another Day in Paradise.
Yeah.
And it's like Aaron edited it and he added all the effects afterwards and made it look like the Phil Collins, like the original video.
There's a side-by-side comparison, right? Like the video that you did. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if it got taken down. It might be on our Instagram still, but yeah,
that one got some hate. Like with so it's kind of weird because we had Mike Odo come in, Magic Mike, and do the bass line for that song.
Yeah,
and he did it exactly note for note, like the Phil Collins version of that song. And people are like, it's like off tune, like it doesn't sound good. But it's like, dude, that is the bass line that Phil Collins does, so like I'll take it up with him, I guess. It did sound kind of weird, but like it worked out. I don't know if there's supposed to be a note in the guitar or something or another instrument that kind of balances out what the bass is doing, but it sounded, it
was just bass and ukulele.
It was just bass and ukulele. So maybe there was like a lacking note that wasn't there to kind of tied everything together. But he's playing exactly what needed to be played. My ukulele is playing the chords that needed to be played, and but I thought like the play along itself and just the music in general, I thought it went really well. That was kind of a year in the making because we were at NAM, or we're at the NAM trip, and in that trip for some reason that song was stuck in my head and I just kept playing it on the CD player in the car. And I just kept playing like, was that Another Day in Paradise? What was that called?
Collins,
So we just I don't know, I was just obsessed with it for some reason, and I remember us going to like a record store and you guys like picked up a bunch of CDs and we were playing those CDs, but I would always circle back to that Phil Collins song.
And like kind of another reason why I like that one is like the same reason as like I'm behind the camera doing the light flicker. Like in that video, like they probably used like a camera rig in the original video where it just like rotates around Phil Collins, right? But we don't have that.
Yeah.
So Aaron was just holding the camera and you were on top of our like rotating stool and I just had to push you to rotate you to match it, right? And I remember we did that take like a couple times and Aaron's like, okay, do it like a little bit slower this time to match the speed. Right?
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because it's actually in the Phil Collins music video, he has a black background, and so I figured like I'll just buy a sheet and then put it behind, but I couldn't find a black sheet. And so we used a dark navy sheet, but because it's black and white, it didn't matter.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
But it was only, I think it was like a queen size, maybe like a full size sheet. So we couldn't cover very much of the background. So to do that
It to spin me.
Yeah, we weren't able to do it and still have coverage, like background coverage.
Yeah, and if you came to our office back then, like our office now, people come in and it's like, oh, this is really it. But it's like, it was smaller back then too. And we were all like crammed in right against each other to just like film that one thing, right? If the three of us were in that room. So that
was a good one.
That's a good memory for me too, because at the same time when I was editing that video, it was I was visiting my brother in Vermont because one of my either my niece or my nephew was graduating from high school. So I went for that, and my girlfriend Mailika, or my fiance now.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That was our first big trip.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You were editing that picture.
while I was doing that, trying to show her around Vermont, and like I was also waking up early and trying
Yeah.
to get editing done.
I think I remember that because it's like you were taking it, and it was like, "Are you gonna be okay, like doing this on your trip?" And you're like, "I'm gonna try and get it done at least."
Yeah.
And then when it came out, it's like, "Oh man, you killed it! Like
Yeah.
you actually were able to get it done. You do a really good job."
Okay, circle back to me. I want to pick another play along or another lesson. And I was gonna go with no. We'll break it up. So that it's not all lessons and stuff. My favorite thing that we did for UU Plus to this day, hands down, solo secrets revealed. Like I remember, and it's not because it was funny or whatever, because I feel like that was something that really bridged the gap, like for people that wanted to learn how to solo. Like if you wanted to solo, but then like we're intimidated by scales and by technique and all that stuff, watching that series really like does what it says it does. It demystifies like the art of soloing with the ukulele, or art of doing improv solos with the ukulele. So that the idea came from the magic like secrets magic secrets revealed. So that was the thing. What was the original idea? What was like the original presentation idea? You guys had like this whole magician thing kind of planned out, right?
I think wasn't there also like wrestling secrets revealed too?
We
thought of that too. Yeah.
So I thought like the one of the earlier drafts for that was like me actually like in a magician's outfit or like with a mask, with a mask.
Yeah, the mask.
And I was trying, and I was revealing secrets that were like taboo, like because like it's that whole like clickbait of like, professionals are mad at him because he he gave away the secrets. And I think at the last video or the last episode of that series, I was gonna like unmask myself as if you didn't know it was me. That was the idea, but we're just like, nah, we want people to take this seriously. So like, and it came out really good, and I thought, as a player that does improvise, that has fun, doing improv, and that's kind of what we're teaching right now in our school. I thought Solo Secrets Revealed was something that everybody needed and everybody wanted, but didn't really know that that's what they needed or that's what they wanted. And if you just took the time and watched that series, of course, like alongside of mastering your fretboard, because they kind of go hand in hand, although they work. As a standalone, it works really well if you watch, both. And it's cool because I learned a lot from teaching that course, because I've just been like soloing, but the way that like we kind of sat down and tried to break down the the system, or like the revealed secrets of like just having two islands to work with, and then having the bridge to that island, and even that, like I think we just thought about the island, and then like the one like kind of one fret, and some people use as the equator, I guess, like was that what John Mayer calls it, like the equator, and then like for us, we called it the bridge between the two islands. So there's like the two islands and then the bridge between that. And it was like everything kind of came together. And for me, as a teacher and as an ukulele player, it's like, oh, hey, like all these pieces, like it's just taking two and two, and putting them together.
It was everything that you were already doing. But
yes, and I could finally explain what I was doing. And and I always go back to that. If somebody like were to ask me to this day, if somebody at at our live coaching or a private lesson, if they're a part of UU Plus, they're always like, oh, how do I do this? I'm like, boom, Solo Secrets Revealed, easy peasy. Like if you learn how to do that stuff, you can basically like get to a pretty good level of of soloing on the ukulele if you master that series. So practice wise, I mean, not anything hilarious or anything like that, but just I think the best, like pound for pound, best video on UU Plus is Solo Secrets Revealed. I thought like that was one of my favorite. Or it is one of my favorites. Yeah.
And that's on UU Plus. So if you're a UU Plus member, that's available to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Or it's in the shop too, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you don't got to be
As
part
a
of Game Plus. You
standalone.
can just buy it as a standalone. Yeah, that and we should just somehow bundle it. Now that I'm talking about it, maybe we should bundle it with the mastering your fretboard, because they do really work hand in hand. If you master your fretboard and then you learn the secret in Solo Secrets Revealed, you're gonna be a soloing machine. And that's like, if you work hard at it, if you work at it, it's actually not a lie. Like, you can. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Any comments on Solo Secrets?
No, I don't know. I don't even remember when we filmed that. That was
It was a long time. I mean,
and it still holds up.
it does. It does. Like, the content in that is like stuff that, you know, any budding ukulele musician that wants to take their, take their, forgive me for for using the tagline, but like, take their playing to the next level. Really, it does what it says it does.
Yeah.
So.
And I think like we have comments, and we realized too, like while we were making it and filming it, it's like, oh, this doesn't only apply to like what you do as soloing. It applies to like a lot of people. And once you like take it and you learn it, you'll probably like look at people and be like, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, this really does work in that setting where it's just like, if you're jamming or you're playing with somebody and you just want to improv something, it's like, I can go through these techniques and it'll work out for me. So
Yeah. So, yeah, your turn.
Yeah, I just want to bring up again, because Russ Bus was here, and I told him while he was here that some of my favorite things were like him and Deech doing the opener for the Undies.
Yeah.
So we used to have an award show called the Undies, like
Undies.
the Ukulele Underground Awards, and we sort of contracted, an unpaid contract, Deech and
Russ
Bus to do the opening sequence for, it must have been like 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
That we did it, and they did the opening sequence where like they dressed up as all of us, Aldrine, me, and Ryan, and did like a basically a skit.
Yeah, it even like, it was pretty cool because they had a couch that looked similar, and then, like, the way that they filmed it and they framed it, it looks like they were sitting next to each other. You know,
They even had a Manny, so like Manny was like Manny the Rooster was a bigger part of the Ukulele Underground universe.
Yeah.
At the time, and they somehow found a Manny. And
The same exact ball.
They had a Manny in their shots, and
I think that's why we like get along with them so well, right? Because it's like they brought the same energy to that we bring to like when we do play-alongs or something, right? It's like where it's like, this is a parody of something else. And it's like, we're not taking ourselves seriously, but we're gonna try and make it as close to the parody as we can.
So there's still like my favorite. I was telling him like my favorite lines are Aldrine, set up that satellite dish. We got viewers in Australia.
Like a little bit higher, a little higher.
We
got
got
viewers from
viewers.
Australia.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then Ryan, always telling me what to do. We still like use some of those lines just in casual conversation to this day.
And he's like playing a Game Boy, right?
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah. So those might still be available on YouTube, right? To watch.
It's crazy because it's not like there was anything, at least at that time, like that pointed to Ryan being like a video game guy. Right? They just decided that was part of the Ryan character, character, you know?
Yeah. And also, I was kind of like Kahai's character at the time.
Oh yeah, didn't show your face.
Yeah, I didn't really show my face. I was always behind the camera. And so,
So it was just
like
the lower part of Russ, like neck down Russ.
Yeah.
And then I was...
or he had a bag on his head.
Oh, that's right. He had a bag on his head, a paper bag. Deech was me, and like in a long, because Deech was bald. He had his wig, the fedora kind of hat, and like a button-down shirt, and he would put his slippers on his knees to kind of show how short I was.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was good stuff. Is that still up on YouTube,
so.
right? Yeah.
And if it is, we'll like add it here, or we'll do something to show you guys, right?
Yeah.
We'll add it in the links or something too.
Yeah, but it really, I mean, that time period was encapsulated in those videos because there was the forum, the Ukulele Underground forum, what sorta was filled with a bunch of characters like them.
Yeah.
You know, there was Russ Bus, there was Deech, but there was also like Ukuleles Reggae and like a bunch of like famous forum members that were just there all the time.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, the forum is still going to this day, and there are new characters in there, but we're not as involved with the forum.
Yeah, so we don't know. But yeah, back in the day, there was.
Yeah, Ken Middleton was a big part of the forum.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite joke from not that same year, but like that idea, right? It's like the tiny African drums.
Yeah. That was one of those videos. I don't think that's
Ken Middleton
but...
tiny African drum. Because there was like Ken Middleton ukulele, there was Ken Middleton guitar. That's it was spawned off of that joke. And then so Russ is like Ken Middleton tiny African drum
for Justin Bieber, right? Or something. It's like baby.
He was doing a tab, like an African drum tab to Justin Bieber's baby.
And I think it's like Russ. Didn't he just put like shaving cream on his face?
Because Ken had a beard.
The white
beard. Yeah.
Oh man, it was some good times. A good one. It's a good one.
I mean, that's like everything from the
classic,
early days of YouTube where we were just rigging it up ourselves and try to make people laugh online. So
man, miss the good old days. Kahai.
Yeah. I guess okay. So my kind of like you, I'm gonna pick like a category instead of like one particular thing. I think one of my favorite things is like duels on YouTube. And the reason why I like that, I think they're still great and go check them out. I like all of them pretty much, but I think the reason why I like them is because they're kind of like an evolution that became our podcast and the jam.
Yeah.
Like, and I always wanted informal kind of like hangout show on Ukulele Underground. So like when we weren't doing podcasts and jams, I like said like, oh, we should do this where we'll get in a player and we'll just have them and Aldrine play together and then hang out and talk story and maybe answer a few questions. But, and then we did it a few times and then we kind of just like, oh, we can just ask them to be on the podcast. We don't need to make like a whole new show.
Yeah, I was like, and I was stoked for it. And like pre-podcast, I was like, oh, like this is kind of cool because I love stuff like live stuff and late night shows. Like I was a big fan of Conan O'Brien and like, you know, Jay Leno. And and I'm a big fan of like SNL and stuff. And then, you know, with special guests coming in and like and the cast like interacting with the special guests. So I remember Johnny Carson, like, you know, with all the characters, and that kind of evolved into the what the podcast is now. You know, I was like, I have to kind of be myself, but like a cartoon character version of myself. But I'm still me. That's like me, you know, on the podcast. But a very exaggerated, very cartoony version of myself, where I can make fun of myself. You know, and then Kahai. Because he was so like, you know, Kahai, you were not very social like back in the day, and I don't know if you're social now and stuff.
I'm not.
You're
social
super
now.
antisocial, and it's one of those like and as Kahai's boss, as like the Michael Scott of Ukulele Underground, like I always tried to just like bring Kahai out of his shell, like against Kahai's will. Like I always try to bring him out of his shell. So slowly but surely, I tried to like see if I can bring and get Kahai like to talk more by putting him in awkward situations. It started with the right, Kahai, and then like, yeah, all right, boss, or whatever. Good one, boss. Like that was like the first kind of like funny interaction that like, okay, we're gonna turn this into like into a thing. So that duos thing, it was, you know, it was kind of like that because I get to like talk story with Craig and Sarah, with Kyle, you know, like all like my friends, and just laugh it up and have fun, because that's what I always saw in Johnny Carson and like, you know, and Jimmy Fallon and stuff, where like these are two kind of like famous people, like, or a famous person like trying to interview another famous person, talking about like you know, like their movies that they made or whatever, like whatever interactions that they've done. So I kind of based it off of that, you know.
Yeah, you are famous within the ukulele community.
Yeah, and other ukulele famous among the ukulele community people, you know. So it's that, and it's kind of cool because like I managed to kind of sharpen my wits, like at least live wit, and now I'm a lot faster wit wise, and I learned from people like Russ Bus, because Russ Bus is one of those like super witty people that like if you don't have 3 comebacks lined up, you're gonna run out, because Russ has at least 3 to 5 ready, like just just waiting, and then you guys just like, it's it's kind of cool. So yeah, so I was kind of jealous where Russ was here and I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I wanted to do like a rapport with with Russ, and just
that would have been great, but
because I really wanted to show like how funny Russ is, and I knew just which buttons to get the real Russ out, like in in the stream. But next time, Russ. Next time.
But you were doing a pretty good job even in the chat. Like when Russ would see your message, you'd be like, okay.
I was trying, because if we were live and I would have asked those questions, he would have, he would have had no, no way out other than just walking out of the podcast, which would have made the podcast even funnier. All right, so
it's back to
my
you.
turn. Last but not least, oh man, there's so much to choose from. Now that you brought up like the undies and stuff, it's I was gonna say, like, here's kind of my runner-ups. Like, I was gonna say that video that me and Ryan did, kind of recapping the first tour, because the first tour for me was awesome. It was like,
those are still up it might be a playlist on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. So check that. I mean, that was a lot of fun, only because like I've never, I've never thought that it would get to that point where we were like, we had people like who wanted to see us live, like outside
within a year.
Yes, it was like outside of the realm of like people just came to the bar to see us or whatever, like we're like a bar band. We're still a bar band, like I trip out every time we play like big venues like theaters and like Hawaii theater.
We're going to Italy.
We're going to Italy. It's just, it really is. And to this day, like, it's tough for me to take it seriously, and it's not a knock on like, oh, he doesn't take it seriously. Like, it's as if like I still need to be pinched a million times in order to convince me like this is like for real. So, and I think like the less serious I take it, like the more like serious I'm actually taking, because that's who we are, like as musicians, just not that serious, and we're having fun. And if I took it too seriously, which is what I was doing in the days of like when I was like touring like Thailand, I was doing like solo shows. I wanted those shows to be like, like just as professional as possible. I was touring with guys like, like Kahai and whatever, and Taimane. I wanted to be like, like presented and received as like a serious artist. But then it's when I said that, like, what, I should just be myself, and brought Aaron. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere without Aaron, because Aaron is how I actually sound like, and so that first tour with Ryan, like it was really awesome. So it was a nice like kind of like cold, like splash of cold water to the face. I'm like, this is reality. So it was pretty awesome, waking up to like this. People are here to see us, and there was like Jason Arimoto, like who was like trying to sneak in the back because like it was sold out. That's insane, and that's Jason's. I've been watching his videos before, he was before we got to know each other, and like I was a big fan of his, like of his blues take. So a guy that I looked up to and respected on on YouTube was stoked to come into my show. It was pretty cool, man.
There are multiple episodes because we broke it down by the day.
By the day. Day.
But I think my favorite episode is that the last episode, Huntington Beach.
That was a sold out day.
Yeah, because I remember being there, and then the show was ended, and I had the camera, and I was just filming you and Ryan. Yeah. And that was like your unfiltered reaction.
Yeah.
To like what just happened. And I still think about that, just being there, capturing your reaction to like what just happened. Like we took a chance. Yeah. We went to California on a whim and just like lined up some shows, and whoever shows up, like whatever, we'll do it. And the turnout was more than we ever expected, and that was like within the first year of Ukulele Underground like existing. So.
That was before a year. Like that was Like,
yeah, within a year.
yeah, because like we started Ukulele Underground really like what, November, like October, November of 2007. That was when the forum came out, and like that summer, like that June or May or to
2008,
June 2008, we went on tour, and like people came out in droves. And like a cool fun fact in that was Sarah Mizell came out to the San Diego show, and she's
she
like,
was there.
yeah, she was there.
We didn't
little
know her.
Yeah, little Sarah Mizell, like big Craig and Sarah. Like she was just learning from I think Leon from like the Moonlight Strummer.
Oh,
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
She was learning from what's his name, Frank Leon.
Yeah.
Like she was learning from him,
How
and
to do some jazz stuff.
and he was the one who told her that like, hey, come down to Ukulele Underground is coming to town, you should come and check them out and stuff. And she came. We didn't know her, we didn't even know that she was like, she was in the picture, because it's not like she was like, I am Sarah Mizell, like she was just Sarah at that point.
Yeah.
Ah, man, it was so that was a big runner-up. But I'm gonna have to hand it to the very, very, because it means a lot to me. It was super fun. But the very, very first episode of Ukulele Lessons, a love song. Love song it started everything. Like I think because of that fact that it started everything. Like everything kind of like came from that. And it wasn't like we filmed it for I Am Hawaii. So it wasn't supposed to be Ukulele Underground, but we got technically fired from I Am Hawaii, and you just kept all that stuff, and we used that as like the launch of Ukulele Underground. That episode was like, that was day one, January 1st, came out in 2008, and since then it's just it's just pretty consistent since then. So love song was like me. I had a Kamaka ukulele that we were taking around, and that was like the beginning of like, I should just learn to not be shamed, like we went to very public places, like I don't know, like a children's playground in Waikiki somewhere. Like we went on the public bus, and we had all these stints. So this was pre like when like everyone now is making TikToks and YouTube like out on the street, and somebody filming them and stuff. Yeah. But when we were doing it in 2007, it was not a common thing, and we got stares, we got laughs, I'm just like, just don't worry, just it'll be hilarious, and it's not for them, and these are probably people that you'll never see ever again,
because it's not even a play along video. There's like no chords or lyrics or anything, right? It's just like more of a music video of that song, right? Too.
Yeah, and
so the concept of it is like a love song, but you're in love with
my ukulele.
So you're basically dating, or like trying to date your ukulele.
My favorite shot is that shot. Like I'm going into the I guess peeking behind the what is it, like the slide or whatever, and then the ukulele peeks behind the slide as well. And like in the next shot, it was pretty awesome. And then like just going down the slide, holding my ukulele, making like I'm all in love with it. Like it was a good time.
Yeah, that shot too. Like it's not like we had a slider or a cam, like a steady cam or anything. I just like was manually doing the slider motion.
And then it's like the opening shot, right? Is like you're on the bus, and it's like a meet cute where it's like you look and it's like, oh, there she is, and then like the ukulele turns and looks at you too. So it's like you guys that's just a public bus that you guys just filmed on.
Yeah, we didn't rent a bus. I think in the description of that video on YouTube, it was like, we spent like $5, and it was mostly on Arizona iced tea.
That's right. Yeah. That was, and the bus fare in Arizona iced tea.
Bus fare, yeah.
Because back then, $2 to go on the bus, like on Oahu bus. And Arizona iced tea. It was, oh man. So $4 for bus fare for me and Aaron, and $1 for the Arizona iced tea, because kids, 99 cents. It was on the big can back in the day, Yeah, so that's my third and final favorite video of all time on Ukulele Underground.
Yeah.
But with a very
And-
runner-up. Yeah.
And part of it was filmed in Suite 409.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So Suite 409 was, was like the apartment that I stayed at over in Waikiki. I no longer live there now, so you can be like, hey, that's like where Aldrine used to live, and that's 409.
And you can go visit it.
Yeah, you
and
can go visit it. Go
oh,
take a
wow.
picture next to the door. It says 409 next to the.
Yeah, I'm gonna bleep that out.
Yeah, just go ahead. Just go ahead. You have my permission
To trespass.
to trespass. No.
Somebody else's property.
But yeah, so it was definitely like my last hurrah at that because I was moving out. Yeah, like all the stuff in that shot, it was pretty empty in that room because I took all the stuff out. There was just clothes on the floor, which I just had to pack up, and then I was gonna leave. But all my roommates' stuff was already empty and gone. It was like a snapshot, and it was pretty cool because that is the first thing that we did with Ukulele Underground, and Ukulele Underground marked my return to Kauai. Really, like, and that was the best transition that I could have asked for. Like, now looking back, in retrospect, that I'm glad we did that one. I had a lot of fun filming that. It was, and it was same thing as a testament to how much fun we used, we used to just put into, not that we don't have fun doing stuff now, but we used to just go all out. We had the time back in the day, now I'm like married with kids and stuff. I can't be going in buses pretending like I'm trying to date an ukulele,
Yeah.
going in, now, I mean, it was questionable then, but now if I go play around with my ukulele at a kid's playground, it'd be questionable.
But that's like a testament to
Yeah.
you just taking it and then just running
yeah.
with it too. And I think the most recent version of that, right, is horse with no name.
Oh,
So it's
that had nobody though. That we were at an empty field,
empty road.
No. The other one was spacesuits.
Spacesuits,
I was wearing seriously just a box on my head, that a cardboard box that I cut out as if it was a space helmet. It was a space helmet, and we went and we got normal random people to wear the cardboard box in their head. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's also a runner up for me. And just I love all the videos that we made. They're for I'm sure all three of us speaking, they're all our little children. But I think the standouts were the ones that we named. Yeah.
Fun.
I guess I'll do a runner-up too.
Yeah.
Runner-up would be I Saw the Light by Todd
Oh,
Rundgren.
yeah.
That was at the Eugene
Ukefest.
Uktoberfest. With who is it? Brooke and Keith.
Brooke and Keith. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that ran the Uktoberfest.
Yeah, but it just less about the song, but more about just that time.
Yeah.
We went to Eugene. We hung out with Craig.
Yeah.
Really hung out with
Yeah.
Craig and got to know him. And he was at during that time in his life where he was like, I don't know, I really want to do this ukulele thing, but I don't know if I can. And then we were just bouncing ideas off of him. And
you
really
can do it, Craig.
bringing him in and talking and showing him things. And yeah, it was just a great time. I think a bunch of different things happened during that during that festival that really cemented why
Craig became Craig.
yeah, or even us, why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes.
I know Ryan has a story from that. If you ever ask Ryan about the Eugene Uktoberfest, there's one specific
I see, as a
thing that
performer.
happened there that really cemented in his mind why we're doing what we're doing. And
Yeah.
if it ever is not fun or not exciting,
He's
then,
always just gonna remember that.
yeah. So just because it was that specific time, that place, it was great. But I guess my number one would be the ukulele challenge with everybody at San Francisco.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Cynthia and Craig and Abe
Yeah.
and Lenny. Oh man!
Yeah, that was
Well, you can say what, you can keep explaining, and I'll bring it up.
oh yeah. Yeah, so we did for a while. We were doing like a show on the Ukulele Underground YouTube channel called Ukulele Challenge.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of episodes, but yeah, we when we went to the San Francisco Uke Fest, we set it up so that we could do an ukulele challenge with a bunch of our professional ukulele playing friends. And so we challenged everyone to basically imitate other professional ukulele players. And it was like basically Kahai's brainchild. Kahai and I, we came up with this concept. And yeah,
That was good fun.
It turned out like even better than I thought that it would have. So
Yeah.
Because like every player has like quirks, you know, like we all have our like different quirks on stage or in person, like and these are other ukulele players that know those players.
Yeah,
and
so it was
know
like
their,
a game
quirks.
of charades, but like you had to impersonate someone that, like, you know, from the ukulele community.
It was funny, like, because Craig and Sarah were paired up.
Yeah,
and then
you would figure that they would be able
They
to
would
read
kill
each other's
They'd kill it.
minds.
And like, and I think they got Fulani pad.
Yeah.
Where like
Wrong.
Craig,
Yeah.
Craig was doing the Fulani pad, like point up,
Yeah.
and Sarah was like, "I don't know who it is," and Craig's like, "We just saw them a week ago."
It's like, and it's not only are they paired up, it's like Sarah, I think, is pregnant in that video.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was
Yeah.
like crazy. Yeah. And then it's like we
Sarah
planned
was
it.
pregnant with
I think
Cameron.
Yeah, I think we planned it, like we talked to Craig and Sarah and Abe, right, like before, and we're like, can we do this with you just like one night? Like we'll just pull you off to the side. And I think we're gonna go get dinner or something, and we started doing this, and then it's like Cynthia came too,
Yeah.
and it's just like a crowd game where like
Steven
Steven
Espanola
Espanola
was
came,
there.
yeah.
so
And
that's
then
why we
he-
asked like Cynthia, like, oh, I guess can you spin the wheel? Like
She's a Vanna White. That's
Yeah.
right. She's a Vanna White. Oh man, that's good times. That is a good one. That's your runner up.
No, that's
That's the
mine.
one.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
What was your runner up?
I saw the light.
I saw the light. That's right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, because and I was like thinking about it and going back and forth in my head, and I was like, was it that one or also the ukulele challenge that I feel like was really fun was at the retreat, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also with
Jake or
Abe
Jake or
and
little
Kalei.
kid. That
Yeah,
one.
yeah, Jake or young kid.
A young kid.
Yeah, and it's just because it's like Abe, Kalei, and then it's like everybody behind the camera too, right? Like
Yeah.
reacting to you guys doing it.
Which is crazy because like me and Clay are huge Jake fans, and we lost to Abe, who's like he likes Jake, but he's like
Yeah.
I think, but like even as the show goes on, right? Abe was like kind of like embarrassed, like, oh, I can't believe I got that wrong. But then at the end of the show, he was like, vindicated. Yes, I won.
that was a fun one, man. We've had some good times.
And then
So-
the other challenge that I like too is the road trip challenge.
Yeah.
And, like,
like figuring out the songs in the car.
yeah, because I feel like yeah, that's kind of just. We set up cameras for that, and we did everything to record everything. But then that's also just us kind of hanging out too. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and then it's also like, hey, we're done working. You guys want to go get food or something after?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very much.
Nice. Yeah, that's what. So that's your runner-up. What's your
Yeah.
third?
I was thinking about it. I really like those. Those are good memories. And then it's like, I think something I wanted to mention where just like, is there's a song that I like, and it's become one of my go-to warm-up songs on ukulele, is One Day Soon. And it's like nothing special really about that day of filming. Like we went to the
He's
pond
really like
where-
that song.
Yeah. But I think it just that was just fun, and that was fun to film you and Kaneo playing, and we just set up, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
fun.
And
to
that
hang
was
out with
live too, right? It was
Yeah,
like
that
a
was live.
tape.
That was-
Yeah.
It was over at Minhunu Fish Pond, which is like what is the Hawaiian name for Alakoko?
Oh, I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah, it was great because that's where Kaniho works, and if you ever see him, he's always gonna invite you to like every second Saturday of the month or whatever, or every first Saturday of the month. Like we do this community day where everybody goes, helps out at the fish pond. If like you want the authentic like Hawaiian experience,
Yeah.
like what Hawaiians do not like the luau and the hula and all that stuff. If you want to get a full, pure Hawaiian experience, that Menehune Fish Pond, which is like, yeah, they just put you to work.
Yeah,
basically
go
put you to
there,
work. Yeah.
Volunteer.
I think even that day, when we were filming, me and Aaron were like setting up cameras.
Yeah.
And weren't you and Kaneo just like under the patio, like
Yeah,
jamming?
we were jamming. We were checking out the. That was my first time to the pond. Actually, I went there a bunch of times afterwards, but that was my first time to the fish pond. So he's basically showing me around. We didn't even go inside yet. Like that was just the outside of the pond. But I'm like, dude, I'm wearing pants. Like, no, I was like, that wasn't wearing pants. But I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for I'm ready for that. I'm not really like an outside person. I'm an indoor cat, like it's, one day soon, like that. We've been meaning to do that song forever because everyone and their mothers like plays that song here on Kauai. If you're like a gigging musician on Kauai, that's in your repertoire. In Hawaii, I guess, that's in your repertoire because like such a great song, great chords, great movements, written by the greats, Ernie Cruz Jr. That song's got everything. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I think even like, is like when we're just hanging out or something, it's like, that's also just like, oh, let's just jam. That's just an easy jam song.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, Jen. It's been, we'll create more because that one is pretty recent. So, which means, we're going to be creating a lot more memories that we can do. I find it funny because sometimes when a show doesn't have a new episode, it's always a clip show, and this is basically our clip show. All right, this is the clip show.
It's totally normal. This is a regular.
That's right. Yeah, it's totally live, and we're totally here, right, Rob? See, Rob gets it.
Good question, everybody. Yeah, we'll get to that.
That's that Yoda, so funny. Look, you see that? See what it said? You see what he said?
Oh, let me pull up the. Oh, our computer's broken. Can't pull up the question.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we see it though. No, but this is basically our clip show. We've never done a clip show, right? This is our first in 16 years doing a clip show. So are you gonna like put in like little clips?
Yeah. I hopefully plan to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Or just links.
Yeah, maybe links.
Yeah, we'll see what it. I mean, I'm doing this on the fly, guys. Doing this live, we'll see what comes out.
Yeah, that's right. Any last parting thoughts, everybody?
No, I guess just thank you guys for watching us.
Yeah, thanks for all the fun years and then some. Okay, because we're gonna keep going. We're gonna have some more fun. We're gonna go on tour. Like if we're not on tour already, and every time we go on tour, we meet new people to have more and more fun with. As long as my goal every year, okay, is to do Ukulele Underground and to have 10% more fun than last year. That's always it. As long as the next year is 10% more fun, life is great. Okay, love my life, love you guys. You guys have been an amazing part of Ukulele Underground, because without you folks, who would we make these videos for? Then I'd just be talking to myself in a bus, right? Like, or like me and Aaron would just be in a bus filming for ourselves, which is like the weirdest thing ever, right? All right, so our usual bit, if you guys want to learn how to play ukulele, make sure to check out ukuleleunderground.com, ukuleleunderground.com. That's where you learn how to play this sweet little instrument that we've been talking about. Find those lessons that we that we mentioned there if you want to learn stuff like I Saw the Lights, Tonight You Belong to Me, Love Song, True by Spandau Ballet, and all the fun like little challenges that we talked about. Make sure you check it out over at ukuleleunderground.com. If you want to take your ukulele playing to the next lesson and watch what I was talking about with Soul Seekers Revealed, sign up for UU Plus. That's how you can take your ukulele playing to the next level. You want to learn how to solo, you want to learn how to improvise on the ukulele, to basically any key, right? Like we did it so that you can improvise to any key. People are playing in E. Everybody would be, everybody like, I'm intimidated, I don't know what to do. Not you. Not you. You'll know exactly what to do. You're like, boom, got my 2 islands, my bridge going on. I'm golden, okay? And you're like, how do you do that? Soul Secrets Revealed, UU Plus. Check it out now. If you want to get some merch, check out shop.ukuleleunderground.com. Shop.ukuleleunderground. We have curated ukuleles. We have Islander ukuleles, Kanile ukuleles, I think, over at shop.ukuleleunderground.com. If you don't want to sign up for UU Plus, but you still want to watch the that Soul Seekers Revealed, it's available as a standalone at shop.ukuleleunderground.com. Get shirts. We have tons of shirts now. We have a bunch of different colors and also tie-dye. So make sure you get that over at shop.ukuleleunderground.com. Any last thing that you want to talk about, Kahai, before we go?
Nope. I mean, this is a totally normal lesson, but just in case, since it's so normal, we'll be back next week, right?
Back next week.
At the normal time.
This Friday. Will be a jam coming Friday.
Yes, the jam Friday and a totally, again, normal podcast next Monday.
We'll see you folks soon. Have a great one. Aloha, we love you. Bye.